Hi Aries, welcome to your Astro Reels. We're starting up another round, super excited. And as you guys already know, you don't actually have to have any significant Aries placements in your natal chart for this message to resonate with you. And you don't have to be watching this video at the time that it's made. If there's something for you, then it will find its way to you. And yeah, if it doesn't make sense or feels still a little cloudy, or you feel like it doesn't resonate, I would invite you to take some time, maybe a few days, 3 days possibly, come back and watch the video again and see what happens. All right, if you'd like to work more personally with me, you know exactly where to find me, right there on my business card. Also, you can find my Etsy link on the page that you're watching. All right, I do want to say Aries, and I keep wanting to say Pisces, so there's some energies here that are at play. Some of you may have Piscean placements, or I almost said awesome. Wow, who said that, right? But also you may benefit from going back to the Pisces reading that we published a few days ago and taking a look at it, because remember, these are actually just energy collective energy readings, so watch all of them along your way because they will add more and more elements. Now it's interesting, speaking of adding more and more elements, it's very clear to me that energetically the way the energy is flowing is that, number one, there's a lot of guilt in the air. So if you are watching this video, chances are you've got a lot of guilt playing out in your field. And as I feel into the collective field, it feels almost like this guilt is on its way out. Great. It's going through its process of coming into your conscious mind awareness. For some of you, you're not quite yet consciously aware of it, and for some of you, you are. It's also making its way through the channels of your body as it comes into your conscious awareness. So some of you may actually be feeling this guilt manifesting. In particular, I'm feeling in the upper left shoulder region, also maybe in the upper left chest area. So as I look at the energetic field here, your field is vibing as a little bit fragmented. So I'm seeing this little patchwork kind of look to your field. And that's because we've got this energy cell, this let's say guilt arising. So what I would like to say, whenever I do my hands like this, it always tells me, oh, there's some energetic surgery or etheric surgery that is needed to make these changes. And so of course you can ask your spirit guides. Some of them may do that. For some of you, it may occur for you during your rest. For some of you, it may be directed to someone who can help you, like me, hi, or other people, right? But for whatever it's worth, I do sense that there needs to be some construction. Sorry, hold on, I'm trying to get the right word. Yes, for some of you, they're saying constructive criticism is part of this. Either you received some constructive criticism and it created a reaction within you, emotional reaction. Sometimes we don't like to hear things, all that stuff. It could have, and that may not be a bad thing. It could have just dislodged. It could have been just what you needed to hear. That's the constructive part, and it dislodged some things and it's helping you to clear. Or it could be also that some of you need to receive some constructive criticism from someone who cares and someone who counts. Interesting. 3 minutes 33 seconds on that. Double C, someone who cares and someone who counts. Everybody counts. Yeah, we know that, but not everybody counts when it comes to giving criticism, when it comes to assessing. And there's a reason why some people, even in our physical world, will need to be trained in order to be in a position to offer assessments, whether it's auditing, critiquing, blah, 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 giving feedback. It's the same on the other side, in the sense that, not, anyone can pop off and run their mouth, but it doesn't necessarily mean that what they have to say is of any value, let alone should be said, and let alone should be said by them. So, discernment, guys, as I always say, yeah, not the D that we all want, but the D that we all need, discernment. So just keep that in mind. So anyway, what I'm saying, Aries, is that there are energies that are unfolding in your field. And I heard in your chart, so there's a little bit of a nod to events that are occurring for the sake of allowing these energies to come up, be witnessed by you, understood by you is what I'm getting. So some of you who have been really trying to understand something, whether it's why something occurred, how you have have been able to do something, like how you came to do something, because remember, we're feeling a lot of guilt here, right? As a byproduct of these reactions that are occurring. Whatever it is, you're getting more clarity. You just have to write it out a little bit more. And I heard write it out as well. So some of you, if you feel that you've been guided to journal, if you've seen videos crossing your path about how to do video logs, all sorts of stuff, yes. Now, as I'm telling you those ideas, I'm feeling my insides start to shake around the heart area, the lung area. So this is apprehension, right? There's fear inside. So you may be like, well, what? I'm feeling great, but actually your insides are a little jiggly. So this is your inner child that is having this reaction. And very, 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 very importantly, for at least one person here, somebody here, you have the impression of a mother figure in your field. So it could be that you spend a lot of time with, or have spent a lot of time, or have been significantly influenced by a female mother figure in your field, to the point that literally, as I'm feeling it, I don't want to say rubbed off on you, but that's the impression. They left an impression on you. They have left a part of themselves with you. So this is why we say we always have to be very mindful and really make our time on earth be about a practice. What is the practice? The practice is to become more in tune with your energy, to understand more of who you are. This requires shadow work. It requires, for some of you, somatic work. It just requires you to observe, to experience, to feel, to discern, and to constantly be having that dialogue with yourself. Is this mine? Is this not? Because to be honest, a lot of who we are, or rather, I like to say who we are being, because it shows a state in action, but it's not, it's just a temporary state. So who you are being down here, a lot of that is because you're a product of something. So when we talk about healing, and we're looking at it from a macroscopic perspective, we're looking at healing across the lifetimes. This is very planned out. And the reason why is because some healing is long term, where you just have to look at things from a different angle so that you can start to discern from a more macroscopic view who you are, right? So we're getting back to realizing who you are, who we are. And hello, is this thing on? The short answer is who you are is love. That's it. That's it. But these are things that take lifetimes upon lifetimes to learn, because our soul is trying to get to that point viscerally. And sometimes the way to get to something viscerally is through chipping away at it. Speaking of, this card, boop, whatever it is, has been standing out for quite some time, but I'm very clear here that there are quite a few steps that need to go to get to there. So speaking about an unfurling process, I do see here the idea of some type of foundation or structure within your field. It could be in the mental field, so looking at your ideologies, things you believe, could be an emotional field, things that you are experiencing and holding as true. All of these things is being markedly changed or shifted. So together, this card with this card gives me real tower energy feeling. So it's like, well, the tower's falling down, but I do think it's very significant that what we see here on its face is the Ten of Pentacles. And you're being dropped down. It's not decreased. We can think of it as honed, pruned, right? Whatever this is, refined. You're going through a revisionary process. And so this is a good thing. Now let's see what card this is actually. The Knight of Cups. I kind of like seeing that in the reverse, and I don't know why. Let's see what it wants to say to us. I almost said what it wants to sing to us, so that's something. I do see here that there's been a lot of learning that has been coming in. I also feel like I have to tell you that a lot of the knowledge that you do need has already been dropped into your field. Because listen, what do you think our spirit teams are doing? They're out here constantly giving us feedback, constantly allowing or helping to get our energetic fields structured on the inside. It's all about energetic structure created by what? Belief. That's it. Belief creates these structures. That's it, right? So these beliefs that you hold from lifetimes on different levels of your field, those are constantly being managed by you and also by your spirit team so that you can get the most out of your journey. So sometimes you may be like, but I'm at a loss. I don't know what's going on. I don't know, blah, blah, blah. And in such cases, please know that whatever you need is already dropped within you. So when you meet people like me, hi, or have other experiences out in the world that help to push you, that help to shape you and mold you, and they're not always the funnest feelings, right? But all of these are helping you to make steps. And I wanted to say steps that I'm seeing on different levels of your field. So taking steps on the different levels of your field from those different levels, all right? So down here, you may have taken a physical step in doing a certain thing, taking certain action, and it will align with some types of actions that you have taken on different levels of your field, or align with the shifts that have been occurring for you on different levels of the field. So learning that how to understand when you're at a shift moment and when you're feeling a shift at this level of experience is mastery. So when we talk about mastery, 11 minutes, 11 seconds, what? Right? When we talk about mastery, we talk about understanding that it's all about perspective. So I may, if you're directed to my work, or you feel called to my work for whatever reason, Spirit has assigned me to work with people in a way. Whenever I sense their fields, there's always some level of mastery going on there. So it feels, and mastery and what do you call it? Service to others. And it's interesting because we do have free will choice down here. And anyway, I'll just leave it at that. But I want to say that when I feel into your fields, I can feel your mastery there. And then maybe I'm at that perspective, and then maybe I'll drop my own perspective so I can feel you at this level. And it's like, maybe you're like, well, I've never heard of crystals, and I'm like, okay, but on this level I'd feel you're totally a master. This isn't your first rodeo. You've worked with crystals, you blah, blah, blah. And so it's a matter of you understanding that you are a multidimensional being and mastering. And you kind of have to ask yourself, what does it mean to master at the different levels? We have a lot of books out there teaching us how to master the emotional experience, how to master the mental experience, all this and that. But think of it like this. What can you do in the physical to become a master of the physical plane? Now, first of all, it's always going to be practice. Practice. Anything you do on earth is practice, because that's all we're doing. We're trying, right? We're trying. But I would suggest, Aries, or whoever you are, that whatever you do to master the physical must take into consideration the physical body. What am I feeling? Where am I feeling it? But you're being asked to elevate your perspective. So you're bringing a higher perspective down to this level. And what does that look like? Oh, I tripped and fell. Is there something that I can glean from this moment? How do I feel? Did it trigger any emotions in me? Did it trigger any actions? Did I lash out at people? So your greatest power at this level is going to come through your ability to observe your own experience. Observe your experience. What are you experiencing? You're going to have some type of stimulus. What's your reaction? Was it mental? Was it emotional? Was it unconscious and only discovered by you in hindsight? Do you struggle to discover it or to see it, but people keep telling you about it? What are your motivations? These are things that you can do at this physical level to kind of catch what's happening and to use that moment to somehow do your best to navigate here, right? And so the more you do that and the more you turn to yourself and become a master of your reactions, your experiences, your mentality, your understanding that these can all shift at any given moment. That's the malleability that is required. Guides always talk about ideological flexibility. When you start to do that and you start to become better at that and changing and shifting and understanding and reflecting and taking 10 steps back and taking 2 forward and then two steps forward and 1 back, all of that, you're starting to become intuitive. So anyway, I'm going to leave this here so we can fit it. God bless you guys. Peace out.